This is your family's first and most important line of defense against Mother Nature. When she strikes, make sure you call the people that I trust, my family and friends at Exterior Home Solutions. Exterior Home Solutions 2-minute drill on this National Signing Day. You know, he just dropped off. Wow, he just dropped off a package of new recruits here. Christmas comes early for Josh Heupel and the Vols, and yes, that might have been corny, but he was available for a prop, so why not use it?
Absolutely.
Josh Heupel not able to talk about everybody today because a few signatures are still yet to come in. David Sanders, Vols waiting on news on Isaiah Campbell, and then Jaden Perlotti. So, other than that, been an early successful signing day with Tennessee, and I'm going to start with the guy that I think I'm most excited to see, kind of how he fits in, and that's Dawan Morris.
Yeah, I think Josh Heupel talked about it in his press conference here today. Even said you can see a little bit of a young D-Samp in him. And I think that's interesting because I think Dawan Morris tailor-made for this offense. He plays really well out in space. He hits holes. He's patient. He knows, what he's looking for and how to set up his runs. I think he's a guy that, is going to have a successful career here at Tennessee.
Jaden Harmon, Christian Gass, Brendan Ains, Tennessee's linebacker class really good, and that's again before Perlotti does anything, and so it has a chance to be an even more special group.
Yeah, you're talking about a class on paper there at that linebacker position for William Inge that's as strong as any in the country. If you're able to add Jaden Perlotti here later this evening, but Christian Gass, Jaden Harmon, those two guys do a lot of things really well that fits into this multiple system. And Brendan Ains, he plays out in space at Page. He makes a lot of plays. He's a guy that's ceiling is high, but his floor is also high. You know what you're getting in him, if that makes sense.
Then you look at the tight end spot. I love what they did. They got the Jack Van Dorslater early and then added Dasan Brame about middle part of the process. It's two really good tight ends for a room that continues to get more and more quality depth and better playmakers.
Yeah, early in that cycle, Tennessee able to land Jack Van Dorslater, and then Emmanuel Okoye moves over to the defensive side of the football. Felt like they needed another tight end. Who would that be? Dasan Brame had a case to be the top tight end in the country at the end of this cycle. You're talking about a guy that's returning punts, playing wide receiver. Taking things on a jet sweep. Just did a little bit of everything out there in Kansas this fall. It's a really dynamic duo there for Alec Ablin.
And then when you look at, just kind of the overall scope of, adding George McIntyre early, what he means. And I think, a guy that, as Heupel pointed out, everything that's been thrown in him in his high school career and to still have a great senior year speaks volumes about what he can handle when he gets to a college atmosphere.
I said this over in the general's quarters on Tuesday night. You want to know who George McIntyre is? Go look at his career highlight tape. There's some throws that he makes that are just next level throws. There's obviously the development piece. He's going to continue to add to his frame, but Tennessee really evaluates the quarterback position in depth, probably as in depth as any program in the country. And early in this one, it was George McIntyre, Deuce Knight. For me, I think it was always George McIntyre for Josh Heupel. I think Tennessee got their guy, and this is a guy with a high ceiling coming to Knoxville.
I'm going to go ahead and give you my prediction on a player no one's talking about that I think – I'm not saying he's starting next year, but I think will have a really good career here, and I think will be a really, kind of a surprise that's not ranked that high, is Anthony Ogamoro. I just like his mental makeup and kind of his really nice kid, sweet kid off the field, mean on the field.
Yeah, I think a guy that hasn't been playing football for a really long time, so there's a lot to mold there, a lot to like about him. He's going to come in as a sponge, look to soak things up. But a guy I think if you ask around, Tennessee's really excited about, and for good reason. He's really athletic for his size, and when you look at what they want along the interior, I think he fits in pretty well.
Lastly, not about recruiting, but I asked Josh Heupel about kind of his thoughts on the CFP, and just said it's just one of those things where you just roll the ball out and play. If you're worried about the little things, you're just, as he called it, you're just having a cup of coffee, which means you're not in it for the long haul. You just got to roll the ball out, go out and play. And I thought it was probably his strongest answer. Anytime, anywhere, any place. He doesn't care. He's glad they're in the tournament. And that's all that matters.
Well, at this point, and he likes to say this: you control what you can control. Do they want to play at home? Sure, they'd love to play at home.
Sure.
But if you're going to Ohio State or you're going to Penn State, you're going on the road, you're going into a hostile environment, and you've got to go win. You're playing for your life at that point, and from that point moving forward. So I think that's pretty true, and I think that's the mindset that this team has going into the playoffs, which is a good mindset to have.
He is Matt Ray. I'm Austin Price for the Exterior Home Solutions Extended 2-Minute Drill on this National Signing Day.